What up, guys? Your boy Quake, and Snoop Dogg has returned with a new album called Is It a Crime? And if you haven't heard it, go ahead and check it out. I think it is a really good album for an artist that has been out for 30 plus years. At this point, Snoop Dogg doesn't need to be making music, but he still does, and to me, he still has it. And track number 13 has caused a lot of commotion, a lot of talk about what Snoop Dogg is saying on that track. The track is titled Shut Your Up. It only features one verse on the track, but Snoop Dogg goes directly at Suge Knight. So let's go over the track, and then I'm going to talk about why he's dissing Suge Knight. Before we continue, I want to give a shout out to Solitaire Smash for sponsoring today's video. Solitaire Smash is a mobile game where you can compete in fast-paced solitaire matches against real people and win real money. It's free to play, it's a skill-based game, and surprisingly very fun. And you can actually win real money playing solitaire. You're going head-to-head against real people in real time. It's all skill-based, not gambling. Matches are fast, competitive, and honestly kind of addicting. I gave it a try and it's legit. I actually won nearly $1 playing for 5 minutes, and this is my first time ever playing. I've been playing it during some downtime, like on breaks or just chilling at night. And I'm new to solitaire, never played it in my life, so to win $1 within 5 minutes, that's a pretty cool thing for me. So I'm happy in that result. So join millions of players and scan the QR code on the screen, or click the link in the description to download Solitaire Smash and start playing for real cash. The track starts out with the hook, and the hook is pretty much very repetitive. It just tells the person to shut their up, and that's really about it. Then Snoop Dogg starts his verse saying, "I can see why you mad. I bought everything you own. Now you in PC snitching on the phone." And here he's directly going at Suge Knight because obviously Suge Knight at one point owned Death Row Records, and now Snoop Dogg owns that record label, which is pretty cool when you think about it. It came full circle for him, and he actually talked about being able to see the behind-the-scenes numbers of what his debut album did, which is really cool after all these years. So here he's just doubling down saying, "I bought everything that you own. That's why you're mad." Then he says, "You're in protective custody." That's what he's talking about when he said, "Now you in PC." And then he's saying he's snitching on the phone. He's talking about things that most people didn't know, and he's talking about it on the phone, letting the world hear it. He continues and says, "It's a time and a place, because I ain't really got one rhyme to waste, but I can slap the taste out your motherfucking mouth, pull up on your guy, make you want to reroute. And if he hit the main line, he gonna see what we about. Rich-ass guy, I'm a rich-ass guy. I'm waiting for you to get home so we can get the shit on." So here he's just completely threatening Suge Knight, and that if Suge Knight ever gets out, which is highly unlikely because he's serving 28 years, that he wants to pull up on him and do something. He continues and says, "Your jailhouse stories, they're made up. One day on Monday, you'll catch a stray. I have been known to get Saturdays. You got a call to make. I got a flight to catch. You need some money on your books, like a couple of racks. I heard you hit your homeboy, but he ain't hitting you back because you a rat." Doubling down on Suge Knight being a snitch. And I can see where Snoop Dogg is coming from and where a lot of different people are coming from, because even Warren G said a lot of Suge Knight's stories are made up, just fabrication, so people can pay attention to Suge Knight. But then again, you know, if you're making up stories, are you really a rat? You're probably just lying just to get the attention. But then some people are confirming his stories and saying what Suge Knight says is the truth. That's essentially it for the track. The hook repeats, and that's about it. Now let's talk about how this even started. Where did these issues come up from? And it's mainly from Suge Knight's side. It all started on February 24th of this year when The Art of Dialogue dropped their interview with Suge Knight. And in the interview, Suge Knight suggested that Snoop Dogg wanted to free Keefy D, the person allegedly responsible for murdering Tupac. He's currently locked up for that right now.
Snoop and other people been having people trying to bail the guy out, Keefy D, because he talking too much. Raising them trying to do stuff for Puffy because they say he talking too much.
And of course, this caught a lot of wind. A lot of people were talking about it. Why would Snoop Dogg want to free Keefy D? What's the reason behind that? People have always said that allegedly Snoop Dogg has always been jealous of Tupac. Suge Knight has pushed that narrative as well. And Snoop Dogg saw this on social media and commented on a post and said, "This guy won't stop talking about me because he's mad I own Death Row. I realize your real lies." Suge Knight then responded to Snoop Dogg's comments and said he doesn't really own Death Row. He called them out and said, "Let me see the paperwork of you owning the actual label. And then he says Snoop Dogg destroyed the Death Row brand by giving out a bunch of people Death Row chains, by allowing their music to be streamed and getting no money for it, so on and so forth. And now,
Snoop, you said, I'm mad because you bought Death Row. What you buy? Set me up. Show me where y'all paid the money to buy it. Show me how you and Mike, as y'all want to call the rat, own the company. Show me the paperwork. Show me what you own.
now we have the situation with the diss track. Of course, I know Suge Knight will respond to this. What do you guys think? Who do you guys think is telling the truth? Do you like Snoop Dogg's side of the story where he's just saying, hey, you're mad, you're locked up, you don't have Death Row Records anymore, and I'm running things? Or do you like Suge Knight's side of the story, saying that Snoop Dogg is destroying the brand, he doesn't really own the label? I personally like the diss track. I think it's dope to hear, an OG rap and disrespect somebody, just being in hip-hop form like that. Snoop Dogg really stepped it up on this album. I enjoy this album overall, so let me know what you guys think of the album as well. Do you guys enjoy it? Do you guys think Snoop Dogg did better on the collab album with Dr. Dre Missionary, or do you guys like this Snoop Dogg solo album a lot more? So let me know what you guys think in the comments below, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace. That's it for today's video. If you guys want to support this channel further, you can do so at patreon.com/diverse mentality. For just $3 a month, you can get my videos uncut and raw the way I intended them to be, but couldn't because of YouTube. Plus, you also get access to our Discord community, where we have a great community talking about hip-hop and various other things. It's very dope. So only $3 a month. I'd really appreciate the support. Also, follow us on social media at QuakeGW and at Diverse Mentality. Thank you so much for the support, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.